Welcome to the Talkin Trash Addiction Recovery Podcast. We suffered in silence. Now we recover out loud.
Oh, you're blowing it already? You're muted, dummy. Hey, I'm Brad. I'm muted.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm nervous. Okay, I'm going to read from a piece of paper here. Welcome, Trashers. We are on episode 203, which is wild because most of us couldn't commit to a gym membership, a relationship, or a freaking phone charger this long. But somehow, here the hell we are. Tonight's pretty cool. We got two guests tonight. We have Eden Funk and her father, Brody. They are from Saskatoon, so this should be pretty interesting. We've never had a combo, daughter-father combo, so that'll be pretty awesome. And now I'm going to turn it over to a guy who's basically a human version of a nicotine patch. Slightly intense, occasionally confusing, but somehow helping people survive. Here's Timmy Snyder.
That was good, Brad. You did a great job, buddy. All right, everybody. Well, next episode 203, we want the funk. We got the funks hanging back studio. We're going to bring them in a minute. Everybody liked it. We just went to the three of us and started checking in, so I think we're going to do that. Let's do a preamble first, and then we'll do that.
Please join us in a moment of silence, followed by the Serenity Prayer.
God, grant us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change the things we can, and the wisdom to know the difference.
Meet the team of Talkin Trash. Oh, it was funny the first time. All right, so what we do here, yeah, a little bit. We check in with each other now. So what we do, we go around, we kind of meet the team, we see each other's clean time, and we kind of check in. So let's do that. First on deck is Will Douglas. Why is it important that Will's first on deck? Well, because there you have it. Happy birthday, Will. Will, you're turning what, 44 on Saturday?
That right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Willie,
boy.
Willie Diddy in the place to be.
Who would have ever imagined?
I know, right? I thought you'd be dead at 22. Why do we? Oh, we went
right
to
a little more credit than that.
30 maybe. All right, Brad Mansfield, the first one to check in. Here are our questions for the evening for the boys. When was the last craving you had? How many hours of sleep did you get last night? What did you eat today? What is your all-time favorite food? What area of your life can be changed? And what area of your life can't be changed? Bradley, go ahead. I'll throw them back up here and there.
Yeah, I couldn't remember all those. Jesus Christ. When was the last craving I had? Honestly, it's been a while. I would say within my first year of sobriety, I'm just over 3 years. So I'm going to say, definitely in my first year. Honestly, I'm at the point now, and I'm not trying to sound that way, but I don't crave anymore. I'm past I'm past where I don't want that. I still struggle with some of the mental shit for sure, but the last time I had a craving probably would have been over 2 years ago for sure.
Boy, Brad. All right, how many hours sleep?
Oh, last night? Let me think. I was up at 5:30 this morning, and I probably went to bed about 11, so 6.5 hours.
That's okay. 6 is good. What'd you eat today, big guy?
I had a pork chop, and I had 3 pieces of toast early this morning.
A pork chop and 3 pieces of toast. Okay. What area of your life? What's your favorite food, Brad? All.
Oh my God! Anything with vegetable oil. I like trans fats. Honestly, my favorite food. Fuck, you can't go wrong with that fucking good cheeseburger, man.
That's a good point. There you go. That's good. Good answer. What can be changed in your life and what can't?
I need to work on my patience. I have to work on sometimes understanding other people's perspective too, and getting out of my own head.
Sure, absolutely. And is that it for you? Anything else you want to share with us?
I think there was one more question, wasn't there?
Mm-hmm. It was what
can't be changed? My fucked up personality. I think we're stuck with that.
No, we don't want to lose that.
No, you
That's
stuck
good.
with it, not me.
All right. Next on deck, check-ins. Willie D in a place to be. Mr.
sir.
Birthday Boy loves lessons. Go ahead, Will. Answer some questions. Get to know you.
The last craving that I believe that I remember that I had was before I got clean. Because I mean, like when I said, like, you know, I remember someone told me a long time ago, you'll know when you're done. Like,
Right.
I mean, when I was done, like, I mean, like, I wasn't having cravings, but it's just like I felt like I had to have, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if I call that a craving or just like a breaking that, whatever. Anyhow.
Understood, yeah.
So, but I mean, it's been a long time. I can't remember, honestly.
Interesting. Okay, let's see. Question. How many hours of sleep did you get last night?
2.5.
I'm sorry, what? 2.5?
2.5.
Willie.
Is that normal for you? That is normal for you. That's not right.
Or it's either 2 or 5. I wake up about every 2 hours anyway, and then I can't get back.
There it is.
There it is.
There it is. You jutted out a little bit there. All right. What's your favorite food, Will? already know
My
this.
favorite food would be Mexican street tacos.
These Southerners down here, they love Mexican food. It's like in New Jersey, it's all Chinese food. Down here, it's all about Mexican food. What area of your life can be changed and what can't be changed?
Areas of my life that can be changed. My consistency.
There you go.
In my
Okay.
life. Things that can't be changed in my life are the way that people perceive me or think about me.
That's true. You know what? Yeah.
This guy always blows my mind, man.
Always blows my mind. All right. I'll do me
I'm not
real
gonna
quick.
say nothing.
Tim Snyder, it's me. I'm the host of the show. I'm 43. I'm from Georgia. Coming up on 3 years clean. Come on, somebody.
Yeah.
The last craving I had, it was in July of this year. So whatever, 9 months ago.
July 4th?
I had no, it was after July 4th. I don't know. I was in a car that I had driven to Philly in the past and gotten high in. And for some reason, being in that car, I reenacted in my mind what it was like to inject heroin and cocaine at the same time. And I loved that when I did it. So it's good that I had that craving. It was the last one I had. And it came out of nowhere. How many hours of sleep did I get last night? I don't know. I went to bed at 6. I woke up at 3. So whatever that is.
9 hours.
What's my all-time? Thank you. What's my all-time favorite food? It's gonna be pizza, I guess. I'm gonna play it safe and say pizza. What areas of pies? What? Well, they call them tomato pies, but that's all the pizza down here is terrible.
Just sounds wrong when you say it that way, though.
I know, but it's delicious. What can be changed and what can't be changed? I can work on patience. I can deal with I can try and figure out some more patience because on Sunday night, this is how my mind was. Show was over and I've been working a lot. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna post this show and turn off my computers till Wednesday. Well, the joys of running a podcast, the show wouldn't post, nothing would work. So I basically been working nonstop since Sunday to get the show to post. It's up. I don't know why it wouldn't go up, but that's what comes with it, and I'm glad I did that.
You gotta hit the enter button.
Yeah, hit the enter button. You're right. I should have turned it off and turned it back on.
Hit it.
Ridiculous. Anyway, it's been frustrating. I'm frustrated, and I'm gonna try not to speak as much tonight because I don't know if this is like normal, but like I hit like 40 years old and I started biting my tongue, and every time when I was 40, I was driving for UPS. I bit my tongue in half. behind a check in the back of a UPS truck, and it was just bleeding. I never got it looked, whatever. So since then, I've been biting it. I'm eating my own tongue. It sucks. So I'm really gonna try not to bite it again during the show.
So favorite food, tongue. Okay, I just wrote that down. Yeah.
Tongue. All right, let's do our daily reflection so we can meet our friends.
Well, we're moving on now to the east side, to a deluxe apartment in the sky.
Enough of that. All right, let's see here. Who's reading daily reflection?
I can, if you want me to.
And yes, it's called. It's Hold Back Nothing. Is the title of our daily reflections today.
So here we go. Hold Back Nothing for May 6th. Our daily refractions, as our buddy Jimmy says.
Or flapjacks.
Yeah, or flapjacks. The real test of the spirit of the situation are your own willingness to confide in your full confidence in the one with whom you share your first accurate self-survey. Provided you hold back nothing, your sense of relief will mount from minute to minute. The dammed up emotions of years break out of their confinement and miraculously vanish as soon as they are exposed. As the pain subsides, a healing tranquility takes its place. That's from the 12 Steps, 12 Traditions, page 61 and 62. A tiny kernel of locked-in feelings began to unfold when I first attended AA meetings, and self-knowledge then became a learning task for me. This new self-understanding brought about a change in my responses to life situations. I realized I had the right to make choices in my life, and the inner dictatorship of habits slowly lost its grip. I believe that if I seek God, I can find a better way to live and ask him daily to assist me in living a sober life.
There you have it. Hold nothing back. I want to bring them in real quick. I know Brody's got to go. What does this mean to you, Bradley? You read it.
I wasn't paying attention. I was reading it.
I know.
Right?
I'll read it. I believe that if I seek God, I can find a better way to live, and I ask him daily to assist me in living a sober life. Hold nothing back. Will, how about you? It's your birthday. Do something. Say something.
Oh, nothing. I mean, like, no regrets, right?
No regrets. Facts on facts. All right. Well, that's it. Our daily reflections. All right. So our guests. Well, I thought it was just going to be Eden, and I thought Eden was a man, and I thought Eden was 45 years old. All of that was wrong. Eden is 24. She is 6 months clean as of yesterday. And it's a father-daughter combination. Brody's going to tell his story first, but we're excited to hear what our.
Do you want to do the? Not that I'm interrupting, but I was going to say we could do the rehab centers, but we
are going to do the rehabs, but I am working on cameras here, like I usually do. It makes sense. So they are from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. Let's see if I can get this better. There you go. There they are. There's our friends. Hello, Brody. Well, Will, you think I'm not going to turn the music down? I mean, Jesus Christ. It's a show. Let me see.
Thank you.
Is it off for you? I don't know.
Testing.
Yeah, we're good. Hi, guys.
All right. Hi, Brody and Eden. Welcome to our shit show. We're happy to have you. We talked a little bit beforehand. Brody is going to tell his story first. He's got stuff to do. He's a busy man. But I'm going to yield the floor to Brody. Brody, tell us what's up. 20 years sober, 22 years sober. And Brody, you have the floor.
Yeah. So 6 years. I had a lapse in 2020. So just to clarify that. That's so I'll just do what happened, what it's like now, if that works for you guys.
Absolutely.
Okay. So, I mean, 23 years ago, I was, when I was, what was it like? It was awful. I had little people. This was one of them, living in the house with us. And I was a weekend warrior, and the weekends would stretch into Mondays and Tuesdays and Wednesdays. And young man trying to raise a family with a massive drug addiction. And it was just not a fun world to be living in. And I mean, it was that was a long time ago. So I honestly have a hard time remembering all the stories of what it was like specifically. But I remember the feelings of not being happy with myself, being feeling isolated, feeling sort of like terminally unique. Like, why can't I get my fucking shit together here?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, just an amazing amount of shame, because usually what would happen is at some point over the weekend, Matt Eden's mom would track me down wherever I was. And I would just, like, the shame would catch up all at once, right? And I didn't know how to handle that, other than going out and getting loaded again.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, that went on for several years, and then eventually I'd had enough of it and didn't know what to do. Ended up in a detox, and in detox is where I heard about recovery. Although it's funny, because my dad was in recovery, and I knew he was in recovery, but I didn't know what recovery was.
Right.
I knew he went to meetings, but I didn't know what that meant.
Yeah.
And so when I was in a detox center in Saskatoon 24 years ago, that's when I first got introduced to Narcotics Anonymous.
Mm-hmm.
I assume we can talk about the different programs here.
Yeah, we do.
Yep.
And Alcoholics Anonymous. And I was familiar with Alcoholics Anonymous, but I had not ever heard of Narcotics Anonymous. Dad went to AA.
Right.
And so anyway, I could just relate, that terminal uniqueness that I was feeling. And the shame was there, but the terminal uniqueness went away, and it made me feel like I could relate to what these people that came in from H&I when they were sharing their story about how they ended up in the rooms of Narcotics Anonymous. And so I was like, there was a connection, and that was the beginning of my journey.
Yeah.
And so when I didn't come out of detox and then immediately get it. I came out of detox and stumbled around for about a year and a half. I went to meetings for a while, and I was more about those initial days of going to meetings back then, I was probably more focused on the differences that were going on between me and the people in the room rather than the common problem. And so I went back out and tested, addiction again for about another 6 months or a year, and came back into the rooms again. It's funny, this little there's certain things we all have in recovery, or no, not in our addiction. Maybe I shouldn't say this, that we all have. I believe maybe other people have this. There's some moments that happen where, like, I was at maximum shame and frustration and desperation. And one of those moments was when this person, she was about 2, maybe 1.5. And I walked into the house after her mom was very angry at me and had kicked me out. And Eden looks up at me, and she has this look on her face like, what the fuck is the matter with you? Like at 1.5. And it was just like this moment that, like, it's just tattooed in my brain.
Yeah.
She doesn't remember that, of course, and she probably wasn't thinking that, but that was the look I thought I was observing.
Yep.
And anyway, that was a moment that she gave me that sent me back into the rooms of recovery.
Girl, or boy.
And so I went back to the rooms, and I ended up connecting with the guy that looked like the meanest asshole in the room as my sponsor. I figured that was a good place to start.
Yeah.
And I did all the things that I was asked to do, 90 meetings in 90 days. I didn't get a sponsor immediately, but pretty quick, and made a homeroom and started participating, where I could in any service form that they would allow me to. And started, just becoming a familiar face in the rooms of Narcotics Anonymous. And I did that for about, that was in Saskatoon. 3 or 4 years, 2 years later, we moved out to Vancouver Island, and I did a bunch of years on the island as well too. And then around 2020 is when I had a slip, and it was, I'm skipping over a lot of time.
That's all right. You're good.
Stop and ask questions if you want, but
we will.
there was an amazing amount of recovery and wonderful things that happened. But ultimately what led to the slip was the beginning of COVID. And I just isolated myself from the rooms, and I was having mental health issues, and I got a doctor started giving me a prescription for some drugs. And I took that for a while, and I talked to my family about it before I started taking it.
Yeah.
But I had guilt and shame after I started taking it, and that old behavior started settling in, and so I stopped.
Good.
And I tried going back to the rooms, but the rooms were weird during that time.
Yeah, they were.
During COVID. And so I ended up not going back to the rooms after about maybe a year of coming in and out. And but then sort of always had this nagging feeling in the back of my head, like I should probably be in a meeting.
Weird.
Yes, weird, hey?
Yeah,
once an addict, always an addict.
Yep.
And anyway, so Eden 6 months ago, I guess, called us up and told us that she was struggling with alcohol. And I mean, I didn't know she was struggling with alcohol. I knew she was struggling because I'd seen her and asked her what was going on. And she was living on Vancouver Island at that time, and we were in Saskatoon. We moved back to Saskatoon. Yep. And anyway, so she calls us up, says, I got a problem with alcohol. And so and she said she was looking for help. So we got her some help. And I made a conscious decision at that point. I'm like, I got to go back to the rooms. Like if I want to have a relationship, if I want to have a chance of helping her, I have to help myself first.
That's awesome.
Yep.
And so I ended up going back to the rooms again. And yeah, so I mean, it's funny, like you can step away for a while. And I felt rusty as hell.
Yeah.
But a lot of the, like you do, it's okay. I can put it this way. First off, I don't recommend anybody fucking do that. That was really stupid.
Terrible idea.
Yeah. Concur.
But similar to like how your addiction is doing push-ups in the background.
Mm-hmm.
When you leave recovery for a while, you don't lose all the thing. And this is, again, I'm not like saying go leave the recovery, but I'm saying my experience. When I left recovery, I didn't lose all the recovery I had because when I came back to the rooms, I was rusty. I feel like there's like God came back into my life.
There it is.
So one of the first things I realized when I came back to the rooms, I was like, oh shit, I stopped having a relationship with God.
Yeah.
That ended. That was me that did that. God didn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
And so once I realized that, and I got down on my knees and I started praying again, and I had been meditating all along because that was a practice I didn't lose, but it was the relationship with a higher power. And I realized how much I was running the show with. And so anyway, I'm fortunate that I have all that previous recovery that I can lean on, but that doesn't mean that I'm healed. That means that I just have some reps, and I'm blessed to have some experience, but I'm very grateful to continue to be back in the rooms. And now today I mostly go to AA. I do participate in NA as well. And I don't know, that's pretty much all I got to share, guys. I mean, like recovery has been a great blessing for my family. I'm grateful that Eden found the rooms because I think that it's been my experience and observation. When people find the rooms and they stick around, they change.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah. Sorry.
We all have questions for sure. 100%. We're going to do that. We do have to acknowledge our rehab centers before we get going. So Brad, go ahead and do that.
Well, welcome treatment centers. So we have Affirm Recovery, New Hope Rehabilitation, Sunrise Detox,
Serenity.
Yeah, that word. Point Sober Living, Discover Recovery, New Work Salvation Army, Lift Off Recovery, and Camelback Recovery. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Welcome for being here.
Camelback and Carla Vista are new. They represent a huge swath of recovery in Arizona. So welcome to the program. So we are gonna. I have questions for Brody. Brad, what do you got for Brody, real quick?
Well, I really liked when you said when you first went into the program, I say program, but whatever, AA, NA, whatever recovery platform you were doing. And you said when you first got there that it's easy to find the differences. Like I caught myself doing that too, Brody. You know what I mean? Well, that guy I didn't do this, and he didn't do this, and that guy's different than I am. But as soon as you find that common ground with everybody and find out what that we all have in common, because every addict and every alcoholic, in my opinion, we have so much in common. We just got to find it. Everybody's story is kind of a little bit different, but we all have the same similarity in our recovery, right? And our fuck ups in our past. So I love that you said that, Brody. That really hit home with me, because I think I did that for the first few months too. Was trying to pick everybody apart of why we weren't alike. And I wasn't looking for what we were alike in.
It feels good at first, doesn't it, Brad? Like you're sitting in the room and you're like, I'm not as bad as that guy.
Well, because what I wanted to do early in my recovery was blame everybody else. I didn't want to own my own shit. I didn't want to be accountable. You know what I mean? So it was easy for me to be like, wow, what's that guy saying that for? Or why is this guy doing this? But once I got over that, it was pretty cool. And another thing I wanted to touch on too, what Brody said, when he said he walked in whenever Eden was like a 1.5 or 2 or whatever. And she gave him that look like, what the fuck, Dad? Right? Yeah. I actually laughed when I heard that, because you know what? I feel like no matter how old the kids are, so when I got into recovery, Brody, my kids were older, 18, whatever, but they seen me in my active addiction all my life, right? Until 3 years ago. And I think, looking back now, I don't think it matters how old they are. I think they fucking know that something's not right. You know, there's something going on. You know what I mean? Well, daddy's not home, or daddy's acting different. Why is he yelling? You know what I mean? I think kids like know what the fuck is going on. Like that's how I feel my kids were, for sure.
Or she had gas and he needed to see that. One or the other. It's always a God thing, whatever it is.
Yeah. Right, so I'm glad you brought that up, because that really, I can relate to that big time, Brody.
Absolutely. Cool. I mean, it's such a we've never had a father-daughter, but like I look at you guys, like Brody's 47, she's 24, so you got to think he had her very early in life. So like, Brody, did you like do you feel like you grew up too fast, grew up early? Like what was it like as you started having kids at a young age?
I was gonna say it's important to acknowledge too, like I have an older sister that's 4 years older than me, so they had kids in high school.
Wow. See, that's what I kind of figured. And he looks young. He's a good-looking dude. I don't like. I also like. I have 2 daughters. They're 20 years old, and they never saw me like I raised them, and I was okay. I wasn't like in full-on addiction, but they saw me afterwards when they were adults, and they saw me and their mom break up, and me go through my shit. I have to ask this. You are such you're an inspiration. You're a you're a help to Eden in her recovery, because you have this experience and you're her dad, right? But like, how much do you think you helped her and both influenced her? Like, I'm afraid that like my kids would do what I did, but now I know they will never, because they saw it. But like, anybody can have an impact in that way. Like, what was the dynamic between you and Eden?
Okay, so I don't think I mean, Eden will be able to answer that better than me on the helping part, but I think she knew, like I said earlier in my story, I knew my dad went to meetings, but I didn't really know what that was about. I think maybe she might have known a little better about what that was about than what I knew, because I probably shared with my family more about what was going on at meetings than I think. Maybe I'm wrong.
I would say that's right. Like I knew, I'll share it too when I like share my part of this or my story. But I knew my dad was in recovery since like the moment that I remember being cognitive, I guess. But I also knew he was an addict. Right. So, and like I think that there's both to say in that, where it's like I never comprehended what it was like to like use substances normally, because I'd never seen it in my household. I didn't know what it was like for people to be drinking or like have parents drinking. So when I started going over to friends' houses and their parents were drinking, I was like, oh my God, they're all alcoholics. Like,
right.
Yeah.
So you watched your dad. He's self-made. So he started a business out of his garage. He became successful and could sustain a family. I mean, like, if I was his kid, but I'm an idiot. But like if I was his kid, I'd see, okay, he was able to drink and live normally. I'm gonna try that. And like you never know like how somebody's gonna take it. Then I screw everything up and I look at him. I'm like, Dad, I need help. Tell me what to do. So like it goes both ways. But this addiction thing, it doesn't know boundaries. It doesn't know race, creed. It doesn't know sex. It doesn't know age. And it's a family disease. And this is a beautiful example of a family being affected by addiction all the way through. Are you two the only addicts in your family?
No.
Okay.
No.
So,
Well, dad, my brother, uncle. I mean, and then there's other types of addictions outside of drugs and alcohol going on in the family.
Absolutely.
So like we believe it's a disease. We've experienced that part of it. I said last show when I first went to recovery and I heard it was a disease. I was like, yes, I'm off the hook. I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't give myself a disease. And I wrestled with that for the next 20 years. And now here we are doing this. And like, for people to say that it's not hereditary, it's not passed down, or just the kids emulating their parents, trying to do what they think is cool, or not emulating their parents, trying to do what they didn't do because they screwed up. So like we have such an impact on our kids. But like this is an example of well, I have to hear Eden's story before I start making ideas. But like you're looking at a good dude right here, and he's battled addiction his whole life. And the thing that you said that was stuck with me, and I'll shut up after this, is that you're an addict. You identify as an addict. It's not about recovery. It's not about when you used, how you used. You came to this like place. I know I did too, where I'm an addict. So I just have to live life by that standard. And things got better when I admitted I was an addict and I needed help. Will,
That's
what do
me.
you think about Brody over here? Would you hire him to do your plumbing?
Yeah, absolutely. Sure, why not?
Well, did your parents use and drink in front of you?
My mother does not whatsoever do anything. I mean, she was the reminder all my life that I have an addictive personality. It runs in my family. So therefore, But then, I mean, like I have other family members. Like, I mean, I've smoked with my dad, but I mean, like, but I wasn't until I was like 20, in my early 20s.
Well, weed?
Yeah, weed. Well, yeah. And but apparently, I mean, I've been told he's a drug addict all my life, and then my grandfather's an alcoholic. So yeah, it runs in my family. But question: Brody? When did you start using? If you don't mind me asking.
Like what year? How old was I?
Yeah. Just what age? I'm just curious.
Yeah, me too.
I think around 14-ish. Yeah.
Interesting.
And that's about that. I mean, like anybody else that I know that usually kind of runs in their family. That's kind of that age or either younger, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah,
like,
it is
I mean,
crazy
to me. But anyhow, but yeah, that's about right. The age that I started.
Well, you'll see down at the bottom, real quick. Sorry, Will, you'll see. No, you're fine. You'll see questions pop up. I'll let you know when there's something directly to you. Brody, it's been a pleasure to meet you. I love meeting men in recovery.
Hello.
Who are, you're fine, Will, just shut up. I love meeting guys in recovery that can own their shit and help other people. And like, so Brad, right? We're looking at this dude, beautiful smile, beautiful family. He's got something to share, right? He's got something that I want to hear. I want to hear how he figured this shit out because I didn't to a degree. So like,
absolutely,
to see him do this, it's just awesome. It's like, he's doing what he should be doing. He should be telling 100 people right now that he's sober and this is how he did it.
And honestly, I was going to throw it out there too. Like, so family and recovery, man, like, I guess I can relate to that. So, Brody and Eden, like, so I grew up in an alcoholic family. My dad, uncles, grandparents, blah,
right.
blah, blah. And it's funny because I remember being young thinking, I'm never going to do what they did. And I didn't to a certain extent. I wasn't as bad. Like, how can I say it? So there was some abuse with the wives and stuff growing up, and I never ever hit my wife. So I was like, well, I'm not that bad. But I still drank and did cocaine all the time, so I was still bad. But I would make excuses why I was better than everybody else. Sure. And So anyway, fast forwarding a bit. So my sister and I are both in recovery together right now. So I'm 3 years and she's probably 2.5 years, right? So we're kind of going through this recovery together. So I'm going to relate that a little bit to the father, daughter, brother, sister, because man, if you could have more people on board on this recovery train and do it together as a family, man, it's fucking amazing. So I know for me and Jenny, my sister, we talk more. We've always been close, but we talk more now because we both are going through the same shit. Like, you know, the mental part of it, the addiction part of it, and we have each other to lean on and talk to and go through this together. So kudos to both of you guys, because that's amazing. That blows my mind and I love it. I'm
Without a
super glad
doubt.
to hear it.
I don't know if Will was talking about hurricane and tornadoes and stuff, so he may be dead right now. I don't know.
Jesus Christ! I hope not.
Let's hope he's not. Laura said children can always pick out when parents are on the decline. Yes, they can, because we look at our parents every day. What's going on? Is the world normal? No, it's not. I can smell alcohol, and there's a needle over there. Donovan Irving says, "I'm so proud of both of you." So, like, I guess we gotta. And Tammy said her son's name is Brody as well. That's good. So we have. I want to shift over to Eden and get her side of it. But
yeah, I'm gonna take off. Nice meeting you guys.
Brody, thank you so much for coming on the
buddy,
show.
thank
We
you
really,
very much.
we really appreciate it. Thank you for your.
Have a great day.
Hey, keep on rocking on there, plumber Brody.
Thank you.
Get after it, my guy. All right, so we're gonna shift over to Eden here. Eden,
Good job, Dad. My little brother just said.
That's awesome.
You have an amazing father, and it's I can't wait to hear your story. Eden is 24, 6 months clean. Let's give her stick taps for that. 6 months yesterday. We love clean time. We love it. All right, so 6 months, Saxon Blades.
I was going to say the Blades. I like the jersey.
Nice.
Clearly. All right, so we'll shift over to you. What we're gonna do is the same thing. I'm gonna give you the floor, and you can take as much time or as little time as you need.
Okay.
The floor is yours. There's not many people watching, so enjoy.
Okay. This was like one thing I wanted to say first before I started, and this is just like what I've learned from my father and like being in the rooms is that like anything that I'm about to say is my perspective and my opinion only.
Absolutely.
So anyone listening, just like take it with a grain of salt. I'm 24. I'm still very much learning.
You are in good company here because we're all mentally 20 years old. So,
but I just mean like I totally offend people all the time.
I understand that. We do too. We kind of walk the line. Everything's fine. You want to take medicine to get sober, fine. You want to do AA, NA, we don't care what you do. We come on here and we share our various viewpoints. Buffalo 2, Montreal 4, buddy. I'm sorry. So Eden, I'm gonna like you're in good company. You don't have
No, that was just like
disclaimer's fine.
No,
Gotcha.
I
You're
gave
good.
myself my own disclaimer.
I understand. Very smart.
Like
so.
I know how the internet works.
I don't.
Anywho, yeah. So my name's Eden. I'm an addict. I'm
Eden?
also the child of an addict, as you just saw. And I also wanted to bring up another thing about addiction that while I'm on this podcast, I'm also a bulimic. So I have an eating disorder as well as OCD. I had my father share because my story obviously starts before I was born. And I didn't feel like it would be fair for me to share on his behalf. Other like my own perspective of what that was like, but not I don't know what it was like for him, you know? Right. I suppose, so addiction started, honestly, if I were to chalk it up, I was like an addict when I was born, really. Like that's what I would say. Like they really just took everything and were like, you know what? We'll put all the mental illnesses in one pot for these kids and just like see which ones they want to pick. And and I decided to dabble in a few. So mine are addiction and eating disorder. I started using when I was about 15, I want to say. But before that, I had like developed my eating disorder. My story starts with my father, obviously growing up with that and him in like early recovery. I never did see him use, which is obviously like a very big privilege or for me or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But that isn't to say that he wasn't still an addict when I was growing up. He definitely still had a lot of the behaviors of like someone in early recovery. And as with like my mother dealing with that, she never drank or anything. She just doesn't like it. But again, they were super young. Like my mom had my sister when she was 16 and my dad was 17. And then 4 years later, they had another oopsie and that was me. So,
gotcha.
So yeah. And then I would say that, my like addiction story sort of really does start, would begin with like because I would consider my eating disorder an addiction too, would begin with my sister. So when she was 16 and I was 12, she suffered from anorexia and landed up in the hospital in the BC Children's. And they basically said that she was going to die from anorexia. She did end up recovering, but that was a huge like impact on me as like my sister being one of the very like main steady people in my life growing up and like someone I very much so idolized.
Yeah.
And I just like remember seeing her. If anyone's ever seen anyone suffer from an eating disorder and get that bad, it's very similar to addiction where you just completely lose yourself. You end up quite literally being like a walking carcass of who you used to be.
Yeah.
And it's really scary. Like you're just not. So like to an extent where you say like it isn't a disease and like not all of it is your fault. That's true when it gets like that. Like at that point, you're not.
Yep.
You're not you anymore. You're quite literally just the disease. Sure. And that's what had taken over her. And that's who I saw at 12 years old. And my mom was pregnant with my little brother at that point too. So I was the soon to be middle child. And I just remember like looking at my sister and going, I just never want to be that way. Like I can't imagine, because I really felt like, I was like, I can't imagine making you feel this way about me. Where it's like my sister's gone, like the one person that I've always counted on my whole life. Right. Which lo and behold, I did end up doing to her, but
you're right.
Just in a different way. So yeah, she has been in recovery since then from her eating disorder, but eating disorders, again, it's very similar to addiction. Like you have it your whole life. It's never going to go away. It's something you have to constantly work on. Just like I'll never be able to think normally. I'll never be able to eat normally. I just like don't comprehend it. I have to always like work on it.
Fair enough. Yeah.
So around when I was 12, I would say my eating disorder kind of started. I wasn't making myself throw up then, but I definitely was like limiting food and keeping track of things because the eating disorder runs through my family. Like my mom has one, my grandmother and her mother before that. So it's really just something I watched and monkey see, monkey do. Like that's kind of just like how I learned things. But I was also very aware that it was an issue and that I needed to like make sure it not become a problem. Doesn't mean it doesn't happen though. So I did eventually like develop bulimia, which is the one where you make yourself throw up. I would say I've been in recovery for that for about 6 years or so. Like I haven't actively made myself throw up other than from my binge drinking, but that's
that comes with the territory.
Yeah, that comes with the territory. And then 3 years later when I was 15, so I was pretty actively in my like eating disorder at this point. I was pretty tiny. I was playing sports. I was in school, and again, my parents' big focus like was on my little brother at that point and my sister because she was newly in recovery and they just had like a brand new baby. And so I sort of was just like, okay, well, let's not be the problem here. Like they don't have
I get it.
But when that's no fault of their own, like that's just sort of the role that you adapt in family dynamics like that, where it's like, okay, they don't have time for that. So I'll take care of myself. So I sort of established as long as I do have good grades, have a job, do extracurriculars, they don't bug me. Right. And that's that's how I lived my like high school career, high school life up until 23.
Just kind of fly under the radar, eh?
Yeah, exactly. I just won't be the problem child, and then I can like drink.
Yep.
And no one will know.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
But I knew long before I had my first drink that I would be an alcoholic. Like I knew as a kid. I remember I was at my friend's house, like my childhood best friend's house for New Year's Eve, and her grandma brought us margaritas, but they were like the fake like mocktail
Mhm.
margaritas, but I didn't know that. And she offered it to me, and I was like, I absolutely cannot have that. I can't believe you'd offer me that. Like, my dad's an alcoholic. Like, I'm gonna be one, you know, like
How insensitive of you.
yeah. And she was like, there's no liquor in this, Eden. Like, I was like, oh,
Okay, I'll take 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
Slurpee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Slurpee. Yeah, I love margaritas.
So I was actually really scared of drinking as a kid because I like knew what it had done to my family and like my
Mhm,
father and other people. And then even so, like my uncle, my dad's brother, he came and detoxed at our house, and I went and visited him in rehab when I was younger, like prior to me using.
Wow.
I had seen him, like I knew he was on the streets at one point. At one point, we didn't know where he was. So I really had like seen the impacts of what addiction can do to you, and was very like, I definitely would say like, as much as I could understand it, an advocate for recovery, but I didn't really know what it meant.
I get it.
But I knew that it like you weren't supposed to drink, basically.
Right.
or I shouldn't.
Yeah.
So yeah, I started drinking at like 15, and I just remember like that feeling of like having it, because I always felt, you know, like having really young parents and them in early recovery, and just that horrible ordeal. As long as my parents were okay, that meant that I was okay. So
Right.
it was a lot of like balancing their emotions as a child, which is just like, again, that's no fault of their own. That's just what happens when you have like really young parents. They're kids still, and like
Yeah.
if mommy and daddy are happy, that means that I'll be happy. And so that was sort of like the lifestyle I adapted. And then I had my first drink, and I was like, oh, I don't care.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
I got that feeling of I don't have to control anything right now.
Just like that.
Yeah, I was like, this is awesome. I'm just
It's,
gonna have
it's
fun.
actually not as bad as you think.
Yeah, it was like
yeah.
no
That's what you
consequences.
think in your head. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
definitely
right?
hear your OCD playing in here.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
like extreme OCD.
Yep.
I am medicated now, but
Yeah, me too.
and have been for like 11 years, but that was a huge thing for me. And then I really just like spiraled. Like I would drink all the time on the weekends. I did. Are we allowed to say like the name of drugs on here?
Yes.
No.
Cocaine,
Yes,
ecstasy, mushrooms,
absolutely.
weed. Yeah.
Yeah.
I no weed. I
Same
did
area.
like I started smoking weed too. Like I was on. I mean, I grew up in BC. I
Yeah.
didn't grow up in
It's legal in
Saskatoon.
BC, right? It's legal in.
It's legal though in
It's
Canada.
legal all of Canada,
Oh,
but like
well, I
it's,
mean,
Yeah.
BC's a different world though. They give away.
yeah, and I grew
fentanyl.
up on the island too, so like everyone's smoking pot over there, you know.
Got you.
Oh, yeah.
But so I started like smoking pot and stuff too in high school, but I found for some reason just like weed did not interact with me well. It made me hallucinate and other weird things. So it really actually scared me away from any other drugs, and I really mainly just drank.
You're lucky.
I
Yeah,
know.
good for you.
Lucky there for sure.
Yeah, I was just like too scared to touch other ones, which is good. But
Yeah.
I did. So when my addiction really started spiraling, it was last year in 2025. I was living with my boyfriend then at the time, and he cheated on me, and then I like freaked out and when I started drinking more than I already was, and I moved in with a friend of mine that I was working with, and she lived with like 4 other boys. It's like a big house, and they all play rugby, so it was like this big like frat house that I moved into, and it was like perfect for me at the time. I was like, I have like space to be me and be free, and I'm with all these people that are lovely, and I'm having such a great fun time.
Mm-hmm.
It was also the perfect place for like an alcoholic to fly under the radar, because
Absolutely.
you know, they're already drinking like on the weekends. Okay, guys, let's drink on the weekdays too. Like, why don't we do that? You know, like I just started making people drink around me, but they were obviously down because
Yeah.
they didn't think of it abnormal. Like that, none of them had, I don't think directly like had an experience with somebody in recovery or like as an alcoholic. And I wouldn't consider myself like a textbook page alcoholic because I knew what that looked like. I was very good at making sure that people didn't see that.
Yeah.
Like I was a closeted alcoholic. I literally I had tequila in my closet at all times. Like, you know, I was prepared to go. But that was a big thing. Yeah. They like, everyone knew that I drank and like would really enjoy myself. And I probably drank more than like the average person sometimes, but no one knew how much I was drinking. Like they didn't know that when they came home and I was like, guys, let's have a drink, play some cards. I was already drunk. Right. Like,
yeah, right. Yeah. You want to do more. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's when it really hit. And then as that progressed and like we were partying and whatnot, I decided, I was like, I'm gonna start trying some drugs. Like, you know what?
There you go.
I haven't smoked weed in forever. Let's go for it.
Let's go.
So I started doing it very like minorly. Again, drugs are like weird with me when I take them. I don't know if it's because of the medication that I'm on, but they never affect me the same way the first time as they do like the fifth time.
Yeah.
Or that's just the way they work. I don't know.
Yeah. We're all different.
So I didn't feel the effects like right away. I usually just would drink instead. But slowly over time, I did like have that like depression afterwards after it. And that's what really started to get to me.
Yep.
Yeah, I just started really like becoming that like shell of myself, like what my sister became when she became sick. And that's when it really started to hit me that I was like, would look at myself in the mirror as one does when they're drunk, because they like to do that, you know?
Yeah. let me analyze things now. See how,
well, I'm intoxicated. Oh, hi, Lorraine. That's my friend. Sorry.
Atta girl. So go ahead, keep going. Okay.
And I was just like not recognizing the person that was looking back at me in the mirror. Same way that I recognized my sister when she was in that hospital bed. Yeah. And that's what really started to scare me. And like my ability to be able to conversate, which you can probably see now, I can talk a lot. Gone, completely gone. I could like only recycle the same like few sentences, like my brain was shot. Right. So in October, I have a best friend that I've been through a lot of other things with. I invited her to come stay with me because I was like, I need you to come stay with me and kind of keep tabs on me and like get me on track here. You know, like I'm
stay here, but you gotta fix me.
Yeah, I was like, I did this for you once. Let's like, you can do it for me. So she came. And it started getting a little bit better, but you know, I would still drink when she was gone. Yeah. Like, because that's what an alcoholic does. Like, or I'd find any reason that I could go out and drink, as one does. And it was November 5th. I think it's a Tuesday. That's like my sober date, or my last time I drank, I guess. She shows up a Tuesday afternoon. We're both in university. She thought I was going to be at my classes. I'm like in my bed, 5 White Claws deep. She opens the door and she's like, "Are you drunk right now?" And I'm like, yeah. and then she's like, "Aren't you supposed to be in school?" And I was like, "I called in sick." And then she's like, "What?" And she's like trying to talk to me, and then I just projectile vomit all over my bed, all over me, all over her.
Yep.
And just like that was it. She like looks at me. She's like, "Either you're calling your parents or I am. Like, we're not doing this." And I was like, so I told her, I was like, "Well, I'm only gonna call them if you get me a bottle of tequila." So
this girl's smart. You had leverage at that moment.
Yeah. Your logic is sound.
Yeah. I was like, I will do it, but I need to be more drunk.
Bethany says it always comes back to mental health, and I couldn't agree more with her. How do you feel about that? I kind of know, but go ahead. What do you think about mental health, Eden?
Mental health?
Yeah, how it ties into addiction.
Oh, it's just that is addiction, right? Addiction, like that's same thing as like an eating disorder is mental health, or my OCD is mental health. They just all have different sort of symptoms, and my symptom for addiction is drinking.
Right.
She's smart. I like how sorry to interrupt, but I like how it's funny, and I don't mean this in a derogatory way, but when you were saying, "Oh, I was drinking and I think I had everybody fooled," you know what? I'm gonna let you in on a little secret.
Probably.
I'm gonna let you on a little secret. I bet you never had anybody fooled. Like you know, and I honestly, because we are always the last ones as an addict or alcoholic. I'm both. But I was always the last one to find out that I had a fucking problem, right? Everybody, like after I got sober and talked to people, everybody's like, so I went to my boss, Eden, when I first went to recovery. I went to Prairie Sky Recovery. That's up by you guys. And so when I first went to my boss and said, "Man, I need help. I'm going to go to recovery." You know what he said to me?
What?
It's about fucking time. That, so that's exactly what he said to me. So I'm not saying that's your case, but no. I think a lot of times with addicts and alcoholics, we think we got everybody fooled. We're like, "Look at me, ho, 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 ho." And I think it's a crock of shit.
Well, I think that. I was gonna say, I think that I did like have a few. I won't lie, like I know I did have a few people fooled.
Oh yeah.
Afterwards, we're like,
"Oh yeah, yeah." Brad's talking about like our family members. That are
I think,
everybody else we got going.
Yeah, like my friend Taya that came and stayed with me, she definitely knew what was going on, and she knew that I just like wasn't ready to go yet.
Yeah.
Or a lot of people knew that I did struggle with alcohol, but they didn't realize it was like that bad. And like that was kind of same with me. I knew I was an alcoholic at 15 when I had my first drink, but I always was like, I knew I was going to go to rehab, but I kind of was like, I'll extend it till like I'm 30, you know, like I'll go at 30.
Yeah.
I was like, my dad went at 24, but like he had kids. I don't have kids yet, so I don't have to go.
So it's funny. You're an alcohol. You identify as an alcoholic, and you didn't do drugs because it like you got scared off him a little bit, and I understand that. I was kind of like that too at one point. But like you're 24 years old, right? And everybody comes on this show is 42, and they just fucking put their life back together and killed everyone. All this shit. You are 24. You're young. And your dad's young. And we always say it's a family disease, but like, holy shit. I mean, this is legit like a family disease, but it's got to be a family recovery too. Larry Foster will say it all the time. It's a family situation. Everybody has to show up. And for you, it's you and your dad. You both are in recovery now. You must have this connection that's got to be a beautiful thing. I could see it. Like, Brad, could you see their connection? Like
100%. Like, honestly, even when we were backstage before the show, and I could see the two of them, there was a moment, Eden, actually, when we were talking, and whatever, father-daughter bonds, I get all that for sure. But there was a quick little glance at each other, and I'm like, there it is. Yeah. There it is. Like, so you know what I mean? It's awesome. Yeah.
I want to shift it a little bit towards the mental health side of it. Sorry, I'm vaping. And kind of, and I mean, the OCD, the eating disorder is something not personally experienced. Listen, when I first went to recovery, I was like 5-6 years ago, and I was doing everything but recovery. I was dating every girl I could find, right? So like I came across every girl I dated that was in recovery that I met in a rehab or whatever it was, rehab, romance, whatever you want to call it. Every one of them had an eating disorder, and I never understood it. And I still kind of don't. I understand it on paper. But like, I mean, I kind of put myself in your shoes and think about making myself throw up and all that stuff. And it seems like a terrible thing to have to carry. And of course, another female comes on, younger now this time, Brad, and she's dealing with not only addiction as a whole, and the eating disorder, the mental health, all that stuff ties into it. Eden, I'd like to hear your experience, like how that played in. I'm just setting you up with a stupid question, but like I know you have more.
Like eating disorder fact of it.
Yeah, like how that kind of is also mental health. Like kind of bring it home for some of these idiots that are watching, like Brian DeSantis.
Yeah. Well, I think there definitely, same with addiction, is a lot of like biases and stereotypes around eating disorders and like assumptions, because on paper it's really written up and chalked up to be like, oh, you know, they have eating disorders because like they just want to be skinny, or like they're seeing all these things on social media or in the medias of all these like, women with certain bodies, and that's so they're not eating because they want to look like that. And yes, for some people that may be the case, but for a lot of people it's not. I can speak directly on my sister's because I'm allowed to. I asked her.
Very good. Yep.
But hers was not. She didn't fall into anorexia because of that. She fell into anorexia. She was actually a track athlete, and she was on like a strict regimen for working out. And her coach had her doing like eating a certain way as well. And same with like addiction, where it's just like something that you like start doing and you like it. That's kind of what happened with hers. I mean, she would have to share more about it, but from what I witnessed was just, and I know was just her, she was trying to, you know, make it to win her track meet.
Sure.
And was going really competitively at it. She was being monitored by doctors, but they hadn't seen an eating disorder before, so they didn't know what it looked like, and they didn't understand that. And by the time that they caught it, she was in the hospital. Her heart rate had dropped to 30 beats per minute, and she was skin and bone. Like that's what happened to her. And that's like what the anorexia one usually looks like more, is where it really does eat at you, because it will start to eat at all of your meat, because you're not, or like the fat on your body, because you are not eating enough to sustain the activity that you're doing day-to-day functions.
Right.
So it will start to eat your fat, and then it will start to eat your muscles, and then it will start to eat at your organs because your body wants to
cramping up like crazy.
Cramps and shit. Yeah.
Oh my god.
That sounds
Yeah.
horrible.
Uncontrollable.
The girl I dated, one of the girls, she said something to me like, when I get that rush when I throw up, and she kind of says it to me, and I'm like, well, she's about to inject heroin, but she's telling me this as she's doing it. She's like, I don't know, it's the same thing. I would throw up, and when I'm done, I get this rush, and then she'd shoot heroin, and we talk whatever. But like, I remember her telling me that, thinking, you don't even realize you're chasing a drug rush, kind of like in that respect. It's like this. It's just a behavior.
Yeah, and that's sort of what it is with eating disorders too. I mean, like for bulimia, my like eating disorder story is much so like I would say a monkey see, monkey do situation in the way that it started, because that's what my mom and my sister were doing. So like that's what I thought was normal behavior for how women were supposed to eat.
Right. Larry wants to know, did she tell you how she was told to make a decision?
About my friend Taya that told me that.
Yeah. All right. We jump in, Larry.
I went to Prairie Sky as well, so that's why Larry knows.
Okay, there it is. There it is. That's how we all kind of come together.
Same here.
Yeah. But my eating disorder, making myself throw up, I just, I mean, like bulimia is a binge and purge one, so you'll like eat a whole bunch, and then you'll either vomit it up or you'll like restrict. And I kind of did all of it. It is definitely like part of it is a rush. Like you make yourself throw up. You'll like eat a big meal and then you throw up and you're like, oh, I ate the meal, but I didn't digest it. Now I feel really good about myself. And another part for me too that really played into my eating disorder was because I wasn't eating, the drugs or whatever I was taking affected me a lot faster, right? Like, you know, it's like when you go and drink and you haven't eaten all day, and all of a sudden after like 2 sips, you're drunk, right? So that was a big part for me too, in regards to like when I say like my like eating disorder went to recovery 6 years ago. I stopped making myself throw up 6 years ago, but that's not to say that I didn't like stop binging and purging. I definitely still did that, and still sometimes catch myself doing that where I like will restrict, and I'm like, why am I just like can't. And because I grew up eating that way, I will, like I said, I'll never be able to comprehend how to eat normally. Like I just can't. I'm always going to overeat at dinner, or I will always undereat.
Me and Brad were talking yesterday. For some reason, I've lost all taste in my mouth. I was in a car accident. I broke my neck. I have all kinds of neurological things. I lost all taste in my mouth. So I went from, I used to live to eat. Now I eat to live. I'm still overweight. I'm still, but I like, you know, I don't know what happened. Brad, why can't you taste anything?
Well, for me, I think it's because I did enough cocaine to sink a fucking island.
There you have it.
So I'm pretty sure, So I'm pretty sure that's why I lost my sense of smell. I'm assuming. I'll blame COVID, but it's definitely cocaine. It's definitely cocaine. So with that, I still, So that's where my taste comes in effect as well because of my smell. So it's funny because everything smells like air to me.
Yeah, that's good. You can just eat spinach all day.
All right, I know.
I miss a good fart every now and then.
That's fair. I understand
it
that.
Is true. Fair enough.
But what I was going to say about eating disorders is really just like the people that don't comprehend it. It's if you understand addiction in regards to like drugs and alcohol, really look at it the exact same way. It's the exact same thing. The symptoms are just different.
Yeah.
But they're both addictions. They just like portray differently at the end of the day. And like my dad said, once an addict, always an addict. Once you have an eating disorder, you will always have an eating disorder. It doesn't just go away. It's something you have to put into recovery and work on every day.
And this is awesome too, Eden. Like obviously we do a recovery addiction podcast, but it's so cool because here we are on episode 203, and I feel like we're getting to reach out to a whole different avenue of people. Like, so what you're talking about tonight, do you know what I mean? Like, because that is basically an addiction. It is an addiction in my eyes. The way you're talking about it. And so I hope there's some people out here that can actually take some stuff from this, because there's so many different forms of mental awareness and addiction and all this shit that we all need to talk about. And you coming on and sharing that story is fucking awesome because it shows growth. It shows a path that you're taking in your recovery that you take very serious. And I'm just saying you should be proud of yourself because I can see it in your eyes and I can see it in the way you're talking. I'm running out of breath. I'm so excited. You're doing a hell of a good job. So keep doing what you're doing, girl. Rock on, girl.
Me and Brad both have kids, so I know that my addiction, my shit, my kids will never go near any kind of opiate or anything like that because it terrifies them because they saw me firsthand. But I think the most important thing here, and you're tying it all together for all of us, is it's mental health is at the core of all this shit. It's at the core of an eating disorder. It's at the core of addiction. It's at the core of everything. So I don't there was a time 15, 20 years ago where it was a stigma. It was, oh, you couldn't be an addict. Oh, eating disorder. Oh my God, you're a piece of shit. Now it's all changed that we've figured out that
or you'd be uninsurable if you were diagnosed
or that too, yeah. But we've all figured out that we have something that we have to deal with. Me personally, I have severe anxiety and depression. I deal with that medically the right way, and it has helped. But I couldn't deal with my addiction until I dealt with my mental health. And I don't know if you feel the same way.
This is a good thing in the era or whatever where we live today compared to 20 years ago or 15 years ago. So mental awareness, for example, like Eden said, so Larry's a fucking beauty. When I went to PSR, that was the biggest thing. So you learn about your addiction, but you get to figure out what's going on inside the old ticker too, right? You know what I mean? Right. And back in the day, I'll say back in the day, because I'm 47, but say 20 years ago, when you talked about mental awareness, someone looked at you like you had 3 fucking heads.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now it's now normal, and
you need to know.
We need to know. People want to know what's making us tick. Before you were too scared to say anything because there was a stigma around it. So I'm glad that we're kind of getting over that hump and addiction and mental awareness because it's okay to talk about it. Because I don't know if anybody knows, but I'm a little crazy myself here. So
just a little bit. I mean, God bless her. 24 years old. Oh my God, if you. And I say it's always an if. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. But if you have figured out all this at 24 years old and your dad is behind you, I can see a situation, maybe not yours, but where pressure mounts. You know what I mean? You're trying to, not you. I'm not saying you, but other people, other situations. You're setting a bar that's too high. I don't think that's your situation, but that can also happen too, and that is also mental health. So it's how you think about yourself.
I think that just addiction in general, it's important to look at it like you guys were saying, it is generational. It's intergenerational and it's intergenerational trauma, but it's also really important to recognize that recovery works the same way, and recovery can be intergenerational too, right? Yep. So my granddad, he started in the rooms of AA out here in Saskatoon. My father then found that 23 years later after he was born, because my grandpa was going to it, right? He was aware that there was recovery. And then same thing for me. I fell into addiction, but I knew there was a way out. Doesn't mean I was ready for it.
Right, I get it.
2 generations before me had gone through it. I knew I could too.
Yeah. Yep. Good. That's great. She's smarter than all of us. All put together, all 3
combined.
Yeah. Is she? But her generation. What is your generation? Do you know? What are they?
I'm a Gen Z.
Gen Z. So your generation, it is generate. It's they don't do you know how to read a clock on the wall with hands?
I do. I was taught that, but
good on you.
It takes me a second still sometimes, but I know how to read.
Okay. Yep.
If it don't have if it doesn't have the numbers, I get confused.
Me too. So it's things change. There's a podcast for recovery. 10 years ago, nobody's watching this shit, and now all of a sudden people are watching it because there's a need for it. Necessity is the mother of invention. So when there's a need, we either, I don't know, with an addiction, it either buries us or we step up to the plate and address it. Will, you're an OCD fucking lunatic. How can you tie this in with us for mental health and OCD and all that shit?
How can I tie it in?
Terrible question, I know.
I know, right? I don't know.
I know, right?
I ask questions, I answer as I'm asking them, and they make no sense.
No,
Will,
I mean, man, it's like, I guess, I've had so many addictions. I mean, just to bring it to a point, my meth addiction fueled my eating disorder. So whenever I was first diagnosed, whenever I first went to rehab, because I had, I always played sports and everything, but as I gotten older, or whatever, I went to rehab. I think it was 20 or 21 for the first time, but I'd gained a lot of weight. But then as soon as I started doing meth, hell, I lost like over half my body size. You know what I'm saying? And I was getting all the attention I want. I mean, I was getting. It wasn't. I mean, it was great attention for me, But I mean, like,
you loved it.
So therefore, every time like I would get. When I would stop using, and I would just eat everything and eat everything in sight, gain weight, and then I'm like straight back to get more dope. Because then I could lose the weight. Like everything I gained, I could lose it in a day. I mean, it was just like it had triggered. So therefore, but and then the OCD. I mean, like being on speed and having OCD and all that. I mean, like it's all kinds of fun. But
it's psychosis. You're a lunatic.
I mean, I think that I did so much drugs that it kind of like. It burned it all out of me now, like the.
I have no doubt you burned it out of you.
That's how it works.
You know what I'm saying?
So 24 years old, I want you to get this. I want you to get it now because it gets harder as you get older. And my chair, look where I'm at. It sit all through the show. I want you to get it now because I don't want you to have to go through the shit that we went through, and it gets more complex and more difficult as you get older.
And you know what? Awesome. Sorry, Eden, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna think that's kind of like the beauty and the unfortunate circumstances of like what I grew up in is that I did get to see all of that through my family and like what this disease does to people, and it's really scary. And that was like one reason why I, not only because like I didn't interact well with weed, but like I was afraid to try other things because that's what my dad's drug of choice was. And so like I didn't want to do that. His wasn't alcohol. So if I have alcohol, that I won't be an alcoholic, right?
Right.
So that's like another thing too, where it's like, yeah, I didn't maybe go as far off the deep end. I actually have a very pretty story I can tell you guys if you want.
Oh yes, please. We love pretty stories.
Okay. Sorry, I interrupted you, Brad, but
no, it's okay.
So I'll go back to my story. My biggest issue when I got to rehab, so like I was super happy that I had finally like gotten this weight off my shoulders, admitted I was an alcoholic to my whole family or an addict. I go by both. I don't really care.
Yeah.
But then I also was really scared to go into the rehab facility because I knew what kind of people were going to be in there, or at least I thought I knew because my family grew up in addiction, right? So I was prepared to see these people that had been on the streets, people that had lost their jobs, that had been to jail, you know, and just like complete rock bottom. And I was like, oh my God, they're all going to hate me. Like, I'm this like prissy bitch that's coming in here from Vancouver Island. Like my mom and daddy sent me to rehab. Like I don't even have a problem, you know?
Pussy bitch.
Yeah. Like, that's,
bitch, by the way.
And I get that sometimes, right? Because like I'm like younger in the recovery scene and people will be like, whoa.
Yeah, right.
But so I got there and I really struggled with like the whole rock bottom piece because I was like, well, I never lost my job. I never got a DUI and all of those things. And I got to talk with the owner, Melanie, there, and she told me this really pretty story or analogy that her mother, Ardith, had told her. And she said, well, Eden, some people's rock bottoms are a little bit softer. They have a carpet. And I was like, what do you mean? What? And she was like, your rock bottom has a carpet. I was like, okay, what? And I was like, I need you to explain this to me. And then she told me, and she was like, well, because your dad and his father before that went to rehab. When you fell and hit rock bottom, it wasn't as hard. You didn't have to land as hard as they did because they showed you what recovery was.
Exactly.
So you recognized it a lot sooner than they did. That's not to say your carpet's going to be there forever. You have an opportunity right now that you can take and use your carpet, and then maybe your kids will have a bed or something. And then once you said that to me and I realized, oh, I did hit rock bottom. Like, this is my rock bottom.
Got it.
I know rock bottom is going to be worse if I keep going down because I know what that looks like. I can look around this room right now, or I can look at my dad and be like, I don't want to do that. But this is my current rock bottom. I didn't have to lose everything like my dad did.
To
realize that I have a problem. And it's sort of what they say where it's like you can get on the dump truck or whatever, but you don't have to ride it to the dump. Right? You can get off whenever you want.
Oh, can you say that again? What was
You can get
it?
on the dump
Get on a
truck,
dump truck,
but you
but
don't
you
have to
can't.
ride it to the dump. You
There
can
it
get
is.
off whenever you want.
Brad
See?
loves analogies. Somebody else said something too.
Well, I love hearing shit that I've never heard before, and you never know when you're gonna hear it. So boom, Eden,
Yeah.
Yeah.
boom.
Somebody said something very similar.
Oh, I think it's one of my friends that's on there. They know.
I got so many comments. We got that's one. But yeah, you hang around a barber shop, get a haircut, all that stuff. We love that shit.
Life's the gardens of D.
Well, that's Joe Dirt.
So that's
Brad,
funny, Eden, what I was gonna say there before, and I'm glad that you took over because what you said was exactly kind of what I was gonna say, bringing it up. Like, I didn't know you were gonna say the carpet story and all that. That's so much cooler. Like,
way cooler.
but yeah, like you've experienced addiction / recovery all through your childhood and all through your life. So you kind of had a running start, I guess.
Yeah,
I'll
like,
say.
and that's what it
Blessing
is.
and a curse.
Like,
Blessing
You
and
know
a
what I
curse
mean?
in those things,
I don't mean to sound like you had a running start, but like it's funny because I like how you said that, where you're like, you knew you were drinking and you knew it was probably being a problem, but you're like, well, no, I'm not really ready for recovery yet. But you knew it was there. You knew the safety net and I guess the safety net I shouldn't say, but you knew that the opportunity for recovery. You knew what you had to do before you were ready to even do it. You know what I mean? Even though you were still, I hate
so
saying fucked up, but
it's like preset thinking.
Yes.
It's like I'm gonna do this, and then it's bad, but then I'm gonna do this. So it's like it's kind of a double-edged sword, Brad, because like it's almost like it's a green light to go try it out because you know that you're gonna figure it out at the end. A lot of people are like you with the weed, Eden, where like they try it once, it doesn't do what they want, and they stay away from it. And like a lot of people like that with opiates, like Percocets and stuff. They'll take it, they'll throw up, they want nothing to do with it. I wish that was me. Totally different. So like,
yeah, weed never did that for me. I loved weed.
Yeah. Well, I actually really did like it for like 5 years. And like when my dad was saying that he like had his relapse, I was like also stealing his drugs at that point. Like that was like
very good.
You know. So I definitely did enjoy it and indulge in it, but then eventually it just like stopped working for me, and I was like, well,
exactly.
it's not worth it.
Yep.
But that's where the addiction brain comes in too. Like, so I've talked to these guys about that too. Like, weed was never a problem for me, but I'm scared to try it ever again for the simple reason that I have an addictive personality and I am an addict. So, so cocaine and, pills and booze were my thing, but that doesn't mean that I can't get addicted to other things because the way my brain is and my mental, I'm working on my mental self. So it's weird. Like, I'm glad you've talked about a lot of the things you talked about tonight, because there's so many different forms of addiction and different types of things that we all have to be aware of. So you are full of knowledge, and being 24 and doing what you're doing, like, keep rocking on, girl, because you're doing it, and you fucking should be proud of yourself.
And like, we look at you like I look at you with such pride, because I have 2 daughters, right? And like, you look like one of them, and like, God, shit. Like, I hope if my daughters went through what you went through, they handled it the way you handled it.
Absolutely.
Because of your dad. I hope I had that kind of impact. Laura Gruber kind of hit it right on the nose. I was just reading this. Mental health common denominator, multi-generational trauma. Children being raised in those environments become our normal and assume that's normal for everyone. And like, that's like, shit, man. I said it was normal to go buy heroin every day. That was normal to me. That or the things that aren't normal to us become normal very quickly. The things we'd never do, and we start doing them, it's just all of a sudden it's just what we are now. It's what we do. It's our normal. And for you to be 24 and to recognize that you have this, and this, and work on it, you have a very bright future in front of you. You know what I mean? Where it could have been totally the opposite, dead, or maybe drugs, played a part at some point. To arrest it now isn't a green light that you're going to be okay. But it's such a fucking, it's so inspiring. We have so many people watching right now that don't usually. We have so many people. This is the most people ever watch this show live. I can see it, the real number. Yeah, you must have a lot of friends, but like we have, we have this, we have well, like you're smart. We're kind of smart. Will's not. I am, and Brad's halfway there. But like we know that something needs to
I
be
do my
done.
best.
Will's probably smarter than all of us.
Yeah.
We know that there's extreme measures need to be taken to recover these days, right?
Yeah.
Because we're all in our 40s. We all screwed up our lives and got a second chance. You know, we know that it takes connecting. We're all there's millions of miles in between us, and we connect twice a week and recover together, and that's all it is. And that's relatable. But like to have a need for something like that, a show like this, it speaks to where we are at as like a culture, climate. But like for you to come on, you're the first 24-year-old female woman to come on our show and tell her truth.
Female woman.
And we relate to all of it. All of us, everybody listening relates to what you're saying. Usually we stop at an hour, but like this, you know, we just go if it's happening. And like, man, there are people in rehabs. Will, I'm thinking of the people in rehabs right now that are watching. They're sitting in chairs, and they're hearing their own story for the first time from Eden. And like I don't know, we don't get points for the shit, but I know you're having an impact on somebody, and I just
absolutely
I appreciate it. You know, I'm gonna.
I could even say for me, Eden, honest to God, like, so I'm 47 years old. I'm getting old. I've been I shouldn't say getting. I am. Been 3 years in recovery, and you've said a shitload of stuff that's blown my mind and helped me in my recovery. So here you are, 6 months, and some of the things that you've said have really helped me in my recovery. So that is the power of recovery right there.
Yeah. Well, I think at the end of the day too, like what I'm saying is like things I've just heard, right? Like my whole life, or like in the rooms now, or through rehab. I think that anyone that is sitting in the rehab rooms right now, they do say this, and I'm gonna say it too, and it's gonna be super annoying. I get that. But go to 90 meetings in 90 days, or do the best you can when you get out.
90 is a big thing.
It's a big thing. Yeah.
Well, my dad made me do it, but and I hated him. I was like, I don't want to go to a meeting every day. It's stupid. Right. You know, I just got out of rehab. I was already doing. Like, I did 6 weeks straight of talking about addiction, and now you want me to go again? Like, you're insane. But the reason why it's not to go there and talk about addiction, it's because your whole life before this, like, you had no routine, and like establishing some sort of routine when you get out of rehab is super important. So you know what, even if you can't go to that 90 meetings in 90 days, it's super important and valuable that you do one thing a day for your recovery. Specifically, if that's not the meeting, which I always will say, I think it's a bullshit excuse if you're like saying you can't go to the meeting because it's an hour out of your day. It doesn't take that long. You can probably make it. But if you really want to say you can't, and there's Zoom meetings too, right? But if you really want to say you can't, find something else. Find something else that's for your recovery, that establishes a routine for you. Because once that routine starts going, everything else starts to fall in place.
I love that you said that, because you're totally right. So for example, the 90 and 90, I agree with that in certain situations, because being in the city, easy to do. Me living in buttfuck Wawota, I don't mean it that way, but you're right. There's Zoom meetings, but you nailed it right on the head. If you do something for your recovery daily, that's the biggest one right there. Do you know what I mean? Like, so if I steadily do something about my recovery, whether it's my readings every day, which I do, you know, like I definitely have a routine that I've done for the last 3 years, and I don't plan on breaking that, because it's got me to where I am today. So you nailed it right on the head there, Eden. I love that.
And like that's what we're here to do. Like that's why this podcast works for whatever reason. Like everybody needs this shit. And to hear your story, I mean, I don't know. There's so many people that are hearing. Larry says, I wish I understood mental health the same way Eden does. My life would have been a lot different. Oh shit, Larry. I mean, but like that's the beauty of where we're at in technology and the world, the internet, all that shit, that we can do this thing. And Eden has taken advantage of that, and now she's a product of whatever it is in 2026, what it looks like to recover, and she's addressing mental health right off the bat.
I just love that. I just love that Larry said that. I've been reading his laminates for 3 years. Now what, Larry? You got me all twisted up now, Larry.
Larry's a nut job.
And I was gonna say too, I think another huge thing for me too, and it is just like the generation that I was born in. Like I got diagnosed with OCD at 11.
Yep.
That's not something that was happening
No.
for my parents, right? Like they weren't getting diagnosed. That was like, oh my God, like our child has an issue, like no one say anything.
Yep.
And then so I got diagnosed still when I was in school. That was like I didn't tell anyone that I was because it was still kind of like breaking that norm depending on where you were. I just told everyone I had vitamins I had to take. That was really what it was. But as I got older, like a couple years later, other people were getting diagnosed around me too. And then I was like, yeah, I have OCD, guys. That's why I'm super weird. It's okay.
Like it wasn't a normal thing back, but like we were the trailblazers for your generation. You are welcome. We did all the trial and error. We were the lab rats and it sucked. You know what I mean? So I'm so happy to see that there's a climate out there that's sensitive to mental health issues and addiction issues. We weren't sensitive 20 years ago. You were a bad person. You're bad. You're bad. You're in trouble. Whether that's how we. And now it's different. Like it all ties together. So many normal people are fucked up too. It's not just us. Like
exactly. Yeah.
Like, are we lucky that we get to say we're addicts? So now we can talk about it. No, like there's so many people watching right now that aren't addicts. We have a swath of the population who aren't addicts, but like somehow what we say resonates with them. So that's the message.
And I love that you said that, Tim, honestly, because I've said that for a bit now too. Like, not that I'm Mr. Recovery, I don't mean it that way, but there's so many mental awareness things that everybody needs that are some people don't want to acknowledge. You know what I mean? Like, oh no, that's not me or whatever. But like every human being, and I'm going to throw addiction right out of this, for example, like you don't have to be addicted to something or bulimic or OCD or anything like that to have a fucking mental issue. You know what I mean? That we have to work on. And
you don't have to have a mental issue that needs pills either, Brad.
Well, it's just like it's like looking at your physical health, really. Like they've had like phys ed and school systems for years now, right? And that's always been a huge priority, but they were always neglecting the mental health part of it. But it is a whole body, like it's a holistic approach that you need to take to schooling and education.
All we got was sex ed. It was terrible. It scored us. We didn't learn anything.
Well, how do you think that I was born? My parents never got it. They really just don't have it. Don't have sex.
It's funny you said oopsie. I have 3 oopsies myself. They're all your age pretty much, 25, 23, and I don't even know how old
What's crazy is I look at this and like today we have a pill for everything. Ozempic is this new thing, and everybody's dropping 50 pounds and Ozempic and Suboxone and all this stuff. I mean, everything has its place. Like Brad, for example, got sober, realized he's crazy, but not in a way medication is needed. So Brad is just mental awareness. He's just, good on him. Sometimes mental awareness means being mentally aware that you have clinical depression.
I spy my little eye.
I spy my little eye. So like, I just, it's such an important message that you have. And for you to come on here and fit in with us idiots, like it says something to I think your father, I put your dad into this mix. Like
he's gonna really love all of this that you're saying. Just saying.
Well, I mean, we can tell good guy.
With you.
I mean,
he's great.
He is, and we
that was awesome.
We can tell a good guy. We can tell a bullshitter. It is what it is. Everything's out of his place. But for you to come on here, I love that your dad came on first because you're 24 and you're a pretty girl. Like dad comes on and says, "I'm here first." Good on him. I'd have done the same fucking thing. But like for you, like God, like I'm so grateful that you have this perspective, that you have this awareness, because so many people don't, and they get lost and the lines get blurred. You're not treating the problem. You're causing more problems, and we lose people that way.
And you got a good jump start on things, Eden.
Yeah, I feel very privileged to have grown up in the family I did, so that when I did come out and say that I was an addict, it wasn't like an attack on me. It wasn't like, another one. Like,
okay.
I was like, okay, let's get you help.
Right.
And that's not the case for a lot of people. Like they might
not.
finally admit to themselves that they're an addict, and then their parents are like, "Oh no, you just like you're choosing that life. That's your fault." Like that's
And
a lot of the times what happens to people, and so I like that you guys have this podcast. It's awesome, and it's great that other people are listening because it's super valuable for other people to understand what addiction is too, and that yes, it might be a choice at some point, but it's not always a choice, right? Like you don't choose to be an addict. You might choose to do drugs, but you don't choose to be addicted to them.
Right, exactly. God damn,
Absolutely.
Smart. God, you need to start your own podcast.
I gotta write this shit down. Like, holy Christ, Eden.
I have other really great sayings you're gonna like too.
Awesome. The
Roll
Garden
them out.
of Eden. There's something there. But I don't know. Will,
You're absolutely amazing. You're absolutely amazing. Yeah,
Yep.
good
Thank
on
you.
you.
and you're safe here. We're non-threatening males. We take care of women. We make sure they're safe. But like, God, like, just keep doing what you're doing. You know what I mean? Like, keep being open-minded. It's just you have such a fucking message that people need, and I don't know, like, it needs to be showcased somehow, because like I'm so grateful that all these people heard this tonight, because it's so relatable and it brings us all in from all different ages, and we can all just kind of be like, fuck it, age, race, identity.
Yeah.
I have what she's got what I got, so we're like the same, and there's a whole new level playing field we can all kind of meet on, which is it's just a beautiful thing. This is it's been a privilege for us to have you on.
Absolutely.
Because you kind of brought it all together for a lot of people tonight, for sure.
Thank you. Brad,
say something nice to her before we go.
Talking trash, baby. Recover out loud.
You're an idiot. All right, so hang on with us, Eden.
We
We read a thing and then we get out of here, but I don't want to kick you out. I think you're part of the team at this point. So let's read our.
Again. I'll start interviewing.
Let's do our just for today. It takes me that long to find it. Okay, Will does.
Hey, if my dial-up messes up, it's not my fault.
All right, no problem. We get it.
In time, we can relax and enjoy the atmosphere of recovery. Are we having fun yet? Basic text, page 56.
Are we having fun yet? See it? Everybody's having fun?
There yet?
There you have it.
Imagine what happened if a newcomer walked into one of our meetings and was met by a group of grim-faced people gripping the arms of their chairs with their white knuckles. That newcomer would have probably bolted, perhaps muttering, "I thought I could get off drugs and be happy." Thankfully, our newcomers are usually met by a group of friendly, smiling folks who are obviously fairly content with their lives that found in Narcotics Anonymous. What an enormous amount of hope this provides. A newcomer whose life has been deadly serious is strongly attracted by an atmosphere of laughter and relaxation, coming from a place where everything is taken seriously, where disasters always waits around the next corner. It's a welcome relief to enter a room and find people who generally don't take themselves too seriously, who are ready for something wonderful. We learn to lighten up in recovery. We laugh at the absurdity, whatever, of our addiction, our meetings, those rooms filled with the lively, happy sounds of percolating coffee, clattering chairs, and laughing addicts are the gathering places where we first welcome our newcomer and let them know that, yes, we're having fun now. Just for today, I can laugh at myself. I can take a joke. I will lighten up and have some fun. Today, I will find an addiction recovery podcast I find amusing.
Yeah, it's us.
Yeah.
All right. So, like, that's my point. That's the point of this thing. We do have fun. I mean, legitimate. Like, we laugh our fucking asses off, right? And like, people that are scared of recovery, you're missing out on what's actually fun. And it's such a blessing. So, Eden Funk, what a great friend you are now to the show. We're so grateful for you and what you're doing. Find a way to plug in and get your message out there, because people need your help, Eden. I'm dead serious. People need it, and it's something we can't do. It's something you have to do. So,
thank you guys so much for this opportunity. It's super awesome, and I think what you guys are doing is like great. I think I said that in the message I sent first. I was
you can say it over and over again.
This is just it's it's a way to get the message out there and that's really what it is at the end of the day, is education, and that's what's most important here.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely right.
and you know what, Eden, honestly, and I think we said this lots on the podcast. 100%. It's great to share the message and all that, but this is us being accountable for our addictions and all
Oh
that
yeah,
too.
for sure.
And this is helping us in recovery. Like, so it's a win-win. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
right?
Like, these are my meetings. I actually go to meetings besides these too, but I've been on the podcast now. I'll shut up here shortly, but in about 5 minutes. Anyway, I've been on the podcast just around Christmas time, and I've now discovered that I have 3 brothers that I didn't know that I had
Whoa.
well, no, seriously, like Timmy, Jimmy, and Willie.
Oh, okay. I thought
Yeah.
you meant like actual like people
Yeah.
reached out
No,
to you. I
yeah,
was like,
no,
is that
yeah,
gonna happen
yeah.
to me?
No, but these three guys, I've got them. I guess that did come out. I found 3 brothers.
I got friends.
I got friends, but I found family that I didn't know I had that are in the
Yep.
same recovery boat that I am, and that's what recovery is about. You know, you're not alone. You can talk through it together with people in the fellowship, and you get through it not alone. It's an amazing journey, and I'm proud to be on it.
Yep. Check me out. I'm showing her my my tattoo on my arm.
Nice.
There it is.
Oh, you guys have to see my really awesome tattoo before I go. Okay, ready?
Let's go. Let's do it.
So I got on my hand the Just for Today.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And
I love that.
It's the writing is my dad's, my grandpa's, mine, and then other people from the rehab facility I went to. So that if I pick something up, I have to look at it. Then I realized my tattoo could backfire because I could be like, just for today, bitches. So in my middle finger, I got not drink so that I could say fuck you to myself.
Oh my God.
Deadly.
Yeah.
You're definitely something else. I'll tell you what. This is I mean, this is saved forever online, so you can always reference it.
Oh yeah.
We thank our friends, everybody that supports us, all our new friends that are coming out. Go on our website, bookmark that trash dash.
Yeah.
If you're early in recovery, if you're in those rooms,
Okay.
when they hand you your phone back when you leave the rehab, go on App Store or Google Play and get the meeting finder or NA meeting search. Or hey, listen, it's a technological world. We can recover technologically like we are now. Narcan saves people's lives. Super important. If you're feeling some type of way, call 988. It's might get you off the ledge there. Don't call me at 3 o'clock in the morning. What you actually can do now is I gotta click on a lot of different things here. You can email any one of us now. Thank God.
I figure out how to use it.
Oh, of course you don't know yet. So it's our name at trash-podcast.com. Thank God. I was the point person for a long time, and now I am not. Let's see.
I'm surprised you left yours up there.
I know, right? I know it. And lastly, let's see the guy here. That's me. That's it. See you guys on Sunday. We are on Sundays and Wednesdays at 9 o'clock Eastern.
Thank you so much, Eden.
Yeah, no, thank you guys.
Eden, thank you so much. You did such a good job. We're so blessed to have you on. Hang on, we'll talk to you post game real quick. That's it for Talking Trash. We'll see you on